Hey, welcome to the TVP channel, and today we do have a green top 4 mirror game actually. And I would like to begin by saying that actually green mirror is actually very interesting to play because it does require a lot of thinking ahead, and the right player will go for this game actually setting up a Mimi straight up, and the Mimi will be very rather useful in this matchup, and we shall see how the game will flow. So the left player does hardcore the Terriermon after evolving on the rookie, and then evolving to the Capitorimon for 1 cost. Now he'll be hardcalling the Palmon to pass back the memory to the right player, as he does have a Mimi, and he does now finally have the Agumon on the nursery. And he does actually decide to hardcore the Vegemon instead of evolving on the nursery, which is very heads up play if you ask me, because you do not want to give too much memory to your opponent, because once you evolve the Vegemon you do have limited plays. The left player does actually use his own Mimi here, and both players do have their own Mimi set up, and this game will be a very close game if you ask me. So the player does evolve the Togimon here, which does draw 1 first from Digivolve, and now looking at the top 3 to pick up anything that's level 5 above, but he does whiff here and doesn't pick up anything, so very unfortunate for him. And he does decide to just swing the Vegemon here, hitting to a Nighthawkmon, which does clear it off during the security check. And he does hardcore the rookie here to pass the turn, and the Mimi will guarantee 3 memory. The left player does decide to go for his own aggressive play, swinging with his rookie already, but he does hardcore the Goblimon. And he does actually decide to pass the turn here, so a very I would say cautious move done by the left player, because you do have to respect that Nighthawkmon, and Nighthawkmon does do a lot, especially when it can actually bulk wipe the field, or I would commonly say as a black hole. It's a stronger outer S as well, so the left player will have to respect that card and actually play the game slowly. So the right player is actually evolving slowly and does decide to pass the turn finally after setting up their Woodmon. But do note that he does have the Capitorimon in the nursery and ready to actually evolve the Nighthawkmon if he does need it. So left player does go for the Chico Bang Bang here, or also known as Needle Spray, to rest the blocker and continue the aggressiveness, because it's the only way to actually deal the damage now before you do get field control. He does throw all his rookie down, and all of them do die in the security check, unfortunately. Now he does hardcore the Agumon, and Agumon does pass the turn to the right player, and the Mimi will guarantee 3 memory. Now he does move up the Capitorimon here. He does decide to swing the Togimon, respecting the aggressiveness from the left side, and he does actually hit into a Mimi here. Very fortunate, because the Mimi does stack and is able to use the ability multiple times in the game. And he does hardcore the Goblimon and passes the turn to the left player. The left player will move on his Palmon from the nursery and going for the Lalamon, and actually does decide to pass the turn once again. As I mentioned, the game is actually quite tough, especially in the green mirror, so both players are trying their best to actually push for game, and the left player do hit into a hidden potential here, and does decide to see another pass turn here. Now evolving to the Capitorimon to start things off. Does decide to swing with the Agumon, which he doesn't block and does die in the security, but the game is over because he does have 3 Digimon, and we will move on to game 2, and the game 2 will be gained by the right player. He does evolve to the Goblimon here. He does decide to set up the Mimi, which is done so in the previous game. So what will the left player actually achieve here? Will he be able to keep up the aggressiveness from the previous game? He does evolve to the Gargomon here in the nursery, evolving to the Blossomon, setting up a level 5 in the nursery, and this could spell actually a very strong threat to the right player. Now he does go for yet another Mimi play here, and the double Mimi can do quite a lot. He does go for the download here for the Blossomon, and hard calling the Woodmon for 5 costs. Now he does actually hardcore the Lilymon here for 6 costs, giving back only 2 memory to the left player. Now the left player actually evolved the Nighthawkmon in the nursery, a very questionable play, but maybe he does need to cycle after all, or maybe threatening a Chaosmon. We are not exactly sure, and we shall see how the game actually flow, as he actually evolved to his own Nighthawkmon for the right player, and actually going for the non-Digiburst skill, because the Nighthawkmon does require Digiburst 4. So most likely this spells a Chaosmon play, and the Nighthawkmon will swing from the left side, actually hitting to a Chaosmon here. Very unfortunate, as that's a free kill right there. And he does hardcore the Capitorimon for 6 costs, giving back exactly 3 memory to the right player. The right player will move out his Vegemon here. And using his Mimi here, because he does have a level 5 above Digimon, or rather green Digimon. And now he does go for his own Chaosmon here. For 6 costs, actually killing off the Blossomon and the Woodmon, which is a very strong play. The left player will have to actually recover from this, especially when there's a Chaosmon actually able to swing every turn. He does only hardcore the Woodmon here, and the right player does forget about his own Mimi, so he does only have 2 memory to work with in this game. And I'd like to point out a misplay here. The Chaosmon is not a level 5 green Digimon, and the misplay will be rectified in the following moment. So because you do have only Chaosmon on the field, and Chaosmon is actually a white Digimon, so we do only notice this misplay here on the second Mimi, and the rectification will be done here. So he does actually have the Agumon here, and will be going for the download here, and then he's able to continue his own Mimi play. So kudos to the left player for actually having a sportsmanship to actually allow him to replay or not, because it might be actually a warning, or rather you wouldn't know what kind of hand the opponent does have. So very kudos to the left player. So left player does try to struggle against this game, but he does have a level 5 in the nursery already, and this might spell a Nick Hot play. But the green player does have a lot of Digimon on the field and is able to push for game here, except the fact that he does have 2 blockers which is unable to attack. So he's able to evolve the Tentomon here, evolving to yet another Woodmon, setting up a potential Ninhotmon in nursery, which is a very strong play. Swing the Chaosmon, and given that Chaosmon is 14k, it's able to safely hit almost every security. And that's evolve to Blossomon here to pass the turn. Will we be able to see a Ninhotmon here? He doesn't actually go for Ninhotmon, and he does set his own Mimi, and it's guaranteed 3 memory for this turn. And the Chaosmon will swing at security once again and not dying, and this slow poke will actually cause the player to lose the game. He does go for the Flower Cannon here to swing at security, because Woodmon is able to block the Agumon. And now going for the Ninhotmon here, which does Digiburst 4, killing off, or rather resting everything that's 5k below, then putting all the rest of Digimon to the bottom of the deck, so essentially a bot wipe. So it's a very strong play, giving back actually 4 memory to the left player. But he does forget to draw. The left player, does he have actually the Ninhotmon to actually respond to this field, given that there's already so much rested Digimon? So he does evolve to the Gargomon here first, actually hardcoring the Palmon, going for the hidden potential, and then going for the Hercules Capitorimon for a free cost. And now going for the Digiburst, resting that Woodmon. And who will he be attacking? And most likely the valuable target will be the Agumon, because he does have actually a potential Digiburst 5, or rather Digiburst 4, sorry. And the Agumon inherit skill will allow him to call the Tentomon, revealing the top card, adding that green Digimon to hand. And now he does evolve on the Hercules Capitorimon to a Chaosmon, which is actually the rare version, and is able to swing at a Digimon, in this case a Ninhotmon, and he does do another pierce damage. So the left player is actually trying to catch up on the damage here. Doesn't hit to a Chaosmon, but actually a Banjo Leomon. A Banjo Leomon is a very strong tag, I would say, against yellow, and because yellow is such a strong deck in the current format. He does hit to a Mimi here, but given that he doesn't have any blocker, the game is over. And now we do move on to game 3, the final game, and the right player will go first again, and does hatch into the Agumon, evolving to the Agumon here. But we don't see a Mimi play like the previous 2 games, but instead a Capitorimon for 1 cost, passing only 1 memory to the left player. And does go for his own Mimi play here. And the Mimi does do a lot for the green decks, because it does turbo up the game, especially that the nursery Digimons doesn't have any summoning sickness. He does actually evolve to the Lemon here, allowing to actually look at the top 5 to add a level 6 or above Digimon to hand, but he does miss completely, very unfortunate. He does go for the Goblimon here, and the memory will be guaranteed to 3 by the Mimi. He does go for another Mimi here to pass the turn. Looks like the left player doesn't have much things to do, very unlucky. He does evolve to the Goblimon here. Swinging the Goblimon, hitting to a hidden potential, but it does survive, which is the good thing. Digimon will swing as well, surviving the security clash yet again, and that's evolved to the Woodmon here, and the Mimi will guarantee 3 memory. Alright, that's hatched into his own Agumon here. Now evolving to the Lalamon. The Lalamon will swing at the Goblinmon, and because of the Minomon skill, he's able to swing exactly 3k. And he does actually hardcore the Tyrannomon here. A very interesting take by the left player, similarly to the Bancho-Leomon on the right player. And he does evolve to the Bancho-Leomon here, as I mentioned just now only. And he does actually respect the Tyrannomon here by actually evolving to the Chaosmon to actually kill it right off. But the left player does have 5 memory to work with, but actually hardcoring the Blossomon for 7 costs, passing back 2 memory to the right player. The right player will move out his Woodmon and swing with the Chaosmon. The Chaosmon is doing quite a lot, as it's a 14k reliable attacker at the security. And now he'll be hardcoring the Agumon for 2 costs. Next, he does follow up with a Tentomon for 3 costs, looking at the top card, which is a Ninghotmon, and is able to add it to hand because it's a green Digimon, and the Ninghotmon in hand does threaten quite a lot, and the Mimi will be able to activate here because of the Blossomon, which is summoned in the previous turn, allowing to actually hatch it nursery, and evolving to the Palmon here to cycle more to the deck, and going for the hidden potential here to evolve to actually the Mega Gagumon, resting that Woodmon, and going for another Mimi play here to move out the Palmon. And hardcalling the Tentomon here for 3 costs, looking at top card and adding another Blossomon to hand, and does swing with the Mega Gagumon and the Woodmon to kill it off. And it's actually going for the Chaosmon here for 6 costs, but it's not able to actually kill off the Chaosmon nicely because he does have only 14k DP and actually target the Tentomon, and the piercing will go through, which he does hit into a Mimi here, so very unfortunate. And the right player does forget about his own Agumon inherit to actually gain the extra 1 memory. So he does evolve to the Goblinmon here, and swing with the Chaosmon at the other Chaosmon because he does have the Agumon inherit ability, which allows him to hit for 15k power. And now he does hardcore the Blossomon once again, and the Mimi will activate to guarantee 3 memory, and the hardcore Blossomon play is actually fairly interesting. And now we do see a Roachmon for 1 cost here, and a Blossomon for download for free, and he's able to threaten the Ninghotmon here if he does have it. Look at the Mimi go. Especially when you have 2 Mimi, you can actually cycle a lot and very fast into your nursery to actually draw more into the deck and putting up boards. So we do go for the Needle Spray here at the Blossomon, and now we do finally see the Ninghotmon by the left player to actually clean up the field nice and clean. But the fact that the opponent does have the Goblinmon in the nursery, so he's not completely helpless yet and is able to actually threaten his own Ninghotmon if he does have it. So he does draw for turn here. Moving up the Goblinmon, and does actually decide to swing at the security, actually surviving. So very interesting. He does actually hardcore the Blossomon once again, and the Mimi will guarantee 3 memory. Now he does actually swing at the Goblinmon, and because of the Minomon skill, he's able to guarantee the 4k DP to hit over the Goblinmon without dying. The Kabutorimon will be actually evolved here. The Goblinmon will swing at security, evolving to the Woodmon here, and the Mimi will guarantee 3 memory again. So much Mimi actions. Now he does hatch the Minomon here first, evolving to the Agumon. Actually going for the Bancho-Leomon here for 3 cost evolution. And does decide to swing at the security, and fortunately it doesn't die, because now he can actually follow up with a Chaosmon play for 6 costs and killing off both blockers, given that he doesn't have any security left and he does have a nursery, or rather a Digimon in the nursery. He's able to threaten Little in the next turn. Ninghotmon will swing, and the left player does try to actually catch up the damage. The Mimi will be activated here, and the Goblinmon will be able to swing. But he does evolve to the Gagumon here for 1 cost, and a Blossomon for download. He does go for a Tentomon here to look at the top card, and does add the Tyrannomon to hand, and evolving to the Woodmon. And now going for the hidden potential play, and going for yet another Ninghotmon, and the Chaosmon will be sent to the bottom of the deck, but given that its hidden potential is actually for free. But unfortunately he doesn't have anything except for another blocker for 6 costs, and giving 6 costs at this point of time is actually quite scary, because the right player can have Ninghotmon here, and the Ninghotmon will be a very clean board wipe. So Tentomon will reveal the top card, actually revealing a Capitorimon, which is most probably what he needs, as he actually evolved to the Capitorimon here for 1 cost on the Agumon. And now he does go for the download Agumon here, and is able to go for the Ninghotmon here for a board wipe, and he does have it. So exactly 3 memory, and he does put 4 Digimon from the left player's side of the field to the bottom of the deck. And how is actually Ninghotmon even fair? Ninghotmon is such as, I would say, a very strong card, even stronger than Omimon, given that how green can actually accelerate to their level 6 almost for free. And it does actually hardcore the Tentomon here to actually reveal a Gargomon to hand, but it seems to be game here as he does concede. Do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you do enjoy the content.